Good morning, everyone. Love is such a simple word, yet the most misunderstood. People believe love is about finding someone who showers them with attention, who gives them gifts, who always agrees with them. No, no. Love is not about comfort. Love is not about convenience. Love is about involvement. When someone truly loves you, they do not just hold your hand, they hold up a mirror so you can see yourself clearly. They do not just walk beside you, they walk into your life with questions. Questions that shake you, questions that shape you, questions that make you grow. So, what are these 5 questions a person who truly loves you will ask? Many people go through life without asking themselves an important question. Am I truly happy or am I just comfortable? This is a question that can change everything. But most people never stop to think about it because they assume comfort is the same as happiness. They assume that if they are not struggling, if they have a job, a home, a family, and things are moving smoothly, then they must be happy. But is that really true? Comfort and happiness are not the same. Comfort means things are familiar. It means you know what to expect. It means there are no big challenges, no major struggles, no surprises. It feels safe. But happiness is different. Happiness is not just about feeling safe. It is about feeling alive. It is about waking up every day with excitement, with energy, with a deep sense of joy. It is about feeling connected to life, to people, to yourself. Many people choose comfort over happiness without even realizing it. They settle into routines, habits, and relationships that do not bring them joy. But they stay because it feels secure. They stay in jobs they do not love because they are afraid of the unknown. They stay in relationships that do not make them feel truly loved because they do not want to be alone. They stop chasing their dreams because they worry about failure. And so slowly they stop asking themselves if they are happy. They convince themselves that being comfortable is enough. But deep inside, there is always a small voice that asks, is this all there is? Is this how life is supposed to be? Shouldn't there be more? Some people hear this voice and push it away. They tell themselves that they should be grateful, that they have no reason to complain. They remind themselves that other people have bigger problems. But ignoring the voice does not make it go away. It just makes it quieter until one day they wake up and realize years have passed and they have been living the same day over and over again. Happiness does not come from staying in the same place. It comes from growth, from learning, from experiencing new things. It comes from following what excites you even when it is scary. It comes from doing things that make you feel alive, not just things that make you feel safe. But growth is uncomfortable. Learning something new means struggling at first. Trying something different means taking risks. Changing your life means facing uncertainty. This is why so many people avoid it. They tell themselves it is too late or that it is not worth the effort. But the truth is the discomfort of growth is temporary. The regret of staying in the same place lasts forever. Sometimes the reason people mistake comfort for happiness is because they are afraid of being uncomfortable. They do not want to face difficult emotion. They do not want to admit that they are not happy because that would mean they need to change something. And change is hard. But what is harder? Spending your whole life feeling half alive, always wondering what could have been. If you want to know whether you are truly happy or just comfortable, ask yourself this. When was the last time you felt really excited about something? When was the last time you woke up looking forward to the day? When was the last time you did something that made you feel proud? Something that challenged you, something that made you grow. If you cannot remember, it might be time to ask yourself if you are truly happy or if you are just avoiding discomfort. This does not mean you need to make big changes overnight. It does not mean you have to quit your job or leave your relationship or move to a new city. But it does mean you need to start being honest with yourself. It means you need to listen to that small voice inside you that is asking for more. It means you need to start making choices that bring you joy, not just choices that feel safe. True happiness does not come from avoiding discomfort. It comes from living fully. It comes from saying yes to things that excite you, even if they scare you. It comes from following your heart, even when it is uncertain. It comes from taking risks, trying new things, and allowing yourself to grow. Comfort is easy, but it is not fulfilling. Happiness takes effort, but it is worth it. So ask yourself, are you truly happy or are you just comfortable? And if you are only comfortable, what are you willing to do to change that? Fear is something that lives inside every person. It is a feeling that whispers in your mind, telling you to be careful, to stay safe, to avoid things that might hurt you. Fear can protect you from danger, but it can also trap you. It can stop you from doing what you truly want. It can keep you in places you do not belong. It can make you settle for less than you deserve. The real question is, what is your greatest fear? And why do you let it rule you? Most people do not stop to think about this. They go through life feeling afraid but never asking themselves why. They assume fear is normal, that it is just a part of life. But fear is not meant to control you. It is meant to warn you when there is real danger. The problem is most fears are not about real danger. They are about imagined danger. They are about things that might happen, not things that are happening. Think about what you are most afraid of. Maybe you are afraid of failure. Maybe you are afraid of being alone. Maybe you are afraid of what people will think of you. Maybe you are afraid of change. Whatever it is, ask yourself, is this fear helping me or is it holding me back? If your fear is stopping you from living fully, from chasing your dreams, from becoming the person you want to be, then it is not protecting you. It is ruling you. Fear has a way of making itself feel bigger than it really is. It makes you imagine the worst. If you want to start a new career, fear will tell you, what if you fail? What if you are not good enough? What if people laugh at you? If you want to leave an unhealthy relationship, fear will whisper, what if you never find someone else? What if you end up alone? If you want to speak up for yourself, fear will say, what if people don't like you anymore? What if they judge you? And so you stay where you are. You convince yourself that it is better not to try, that it is safer to keep things the way they are, that avoiding fear is the best way to live. But what happens when you let fear decide your life? You wake up one day and realize you have been standing still. You have been watching time pass, waiting for the right moment, waiting for the fear to disappear. But fear does not disappear. It only grows stronger when you feed it. The only way to stop fear from ruling you is to face it. You have to question it. You have to ask, is this fear real? Is it true? Most of the time, fear is just a thought. It is not reality. It is not something that is actually happening. It is just a story in your mind. And like any story, you can change it. Think about a time when you were afraid of something, but you did it anyway. Maybe it was speaking in front of a crowd. Maybe it was moving to a new place. Maybe it was telling someone how you really feel. Before you did it, the fear felt huge. But after, it wasn't so bad, was it? The fear only had power before you took action. Once you faced it, it lost its grip on you. This is the truth about fear. It feels big, but it is not. It feels real, but it is just a thought. And every time you step through fear, you become stronger. Every time you face it, it becomes weaker. Every time you stop letting it control you, you take back your power. But why do so many people let fear rule them? Because it is easier. It is easier to stay where you are than to step into the unknown. It is easier to avoid discomfort than to face it. It is easier to listen to fear than to fight it. But easy is not the same as right. Easy is not the same as fulfilling. Easy does not lead to a life of meaning and purpose. Imagine your life if fear did not control you. Imagine what you would do if you were not afraid of failing, of being judged, of being alone, of making mistakes. Imagine the risks you would take, the places you would go, the things you would try. That life is possible. But only if you stop letting fear decide for you. Fear is not something you need to remove completely. That is not possible. But you can learn to walk with it. You can learn to feel the fear and still move forward. You can learn to say, yes, I am afraid, but I will not let that stop me. Because the truth is, everything you want is on the other side of fear. Every dream, every opportunity, every moment of real joy is waiting for you. But you have to take the first step. So ask yourself again, what is your greatest fear? And more importantly, why are you letting it rule you? If fear is making your choices for you, then you are not really living. You are just surviving. And life is too short, too precious to live in the shadow of fear. You have a choice. You can listen to fear or you can challenge it. You can stay in the same place or you can step forward. You can let fear rule you or you can rule yourself. The decision is yours. Do you feel free with me? This is a question that many people never ask in their relationships. but it is one of the most important questions. Love is supposed to bring joy, comfort, and connection. But most of all, love should bring freedom. If you are with someone and you do not feel free, then something is not right. Many people think love means control. They think if someone loves them, they should change for them. They believe love is about making rules, setting limits, or shaping the other person into what they want. But that is not love. That is possession. True love does not put you in a cage. It does not make you feel like you are walking on eggshells. It does not make you afraid to be yourself. Love, real love, gives you space to grow, to breathe, to be who you truly are. Think about your relationships, whether with a partner, a friend, or even a family member. When you are with them, do you feel light or do you feel heavy? Do you feel like you can say what is on your mind or do you hold back your words? Do you feel like you can be yourself or do you have to play a role to keep the peace? These are important questions because a relationship should not feel like a prison. It should feel like home. Some people stay in relationships where they do not feel free because they believe that is how love is supposed to be. They think love means sacrifice, that it means giving up their own needs to make the other person happy. But love should not feel like a burden. It should not feel like you are losing yourself. If you feel like you have to constantly please someone, like you have to change who you are to be accepted, then you are not free. Freedom in love does not mean walking away whenever things get hard. It does not mean doing whatever you want without thinking about the other person. Freedom in love means being able to be honest, to be open, to be your true self without fear. It means knowing that you can express your thoughts, your feelings, your dreams, and your fears, and the other person will listen without judgment. But why do so many people stay in relationships where they do not feel free? Sometimes it is because of fear of being alone, fear of hurting the other person, fear of not finding someone better. But fear should never be the reason you stay. If you are not free, you are not truly happy. And if you are not happy, what is the point? Some people confuse love with attachment. They think needing someone is the same as loving them. But love is not about need. It is about choice. It is about choosing to be with someone because they make your life better, not because you are afraid of life without them. When love is real, it does not feel like a chain, it feels like the wind. You are still yourself, but you know someone is beside you, supporting you, encouraging you, not holding you back. In a relationship, both people should feel free. It is not just about one person's feelings. If one person feels trapped while the other feels secure, that is not balance. That is not love. Both people should feel safe enough to be honest. Both should feel like they can be themselves. Both should feel like they are not being controlled or forced to change in ways that do not feel right. Love should not take away your freedom. It should expand it. It should make you feel more alive, more like yourself, not less. If you have to hide parts of who you are, if you have to pretend to be someone else just to keep the peace, then you are not free. And if you are not free, then the relationship is not truly built on love. Ask yourself, do I feel free in this relationship? Can I be myself? Can I speak my mind? Can I follow my dreams without fear of being judged or held back? If the answer is no, then something needs to change. Maybe it means having a difficult conversation. Maybe it means setting new boundaries. Or maybe it means walking away. It is not selfish to want freedom in love. It is necessary. Because without freedom, love becomes something else. It becomes control. It becomes fear. It becomes obligation. But love should never be an obligation. Love should be a choice, made freely every single day. If someone truly loves you, they will not make you feel small. They will not try to change you into someone you are not. They will not make you feel guilty for being yourself. Instead, they will encourage you to grow. They will support you in becoming the best version of yourself. They will love you for who you are, not for who they want you to be. So do you feel free with me? This is a question that matters because without freedom, there is no true love. There is only attachment, control, and fear. And that is not the kind of love that brings happiness. The best love, the real love, is the love that makes you feel free. What do you dream of? This is a question that many people do not ask themselves and even fewer ask each other. Life moves so fast. People wake up, go to work, do what they must, come home and repeat the same cycle every day. In the middle of all this, dreams get forgotten. Some dreams fade away because life feels too busy and others are pushed aside because of fear. But dreams do not disappear completely. They stay inside, waiting for a moment when someone will ask about them. when someone will listen. Everyone has a dream. Some dream of creating something new, like writing a book, starting a business, or painting a masterpiece. Others dream of adventure, of traveling to different places, of seeing the world in a way they never have before. Some dream of simple things, like living in peace, having a happy family, or feeling free from stress. There is no right or wrong dream. A dream is whatever makes a person feel alive, whatever brings joy and excitement into their heart. But not everyone has the courage to speak about their dreams. Some people keep their dreams a secret because they are afraid of being judged. They worry that others will laugh at them or think their dream is too big, too unrealistic. Some people do not even admit their dreams to themselves because they think it is impossible. They convince themselves that dreaming is useless, that it is better to be practical, to focus on what is realistic. But a life without dreams is not a full life. It is just survival. Imagine if someone asked you, "What do you dream of?" And they truly listened, not just with their ears but with their heart. Imagine if someone cared enough to understand what makes you feel excited, what makes you feel hopeful, what makes you want to wake up every morning with energy and purpose. How would that feel? It would feel like being seen, like being valued, like being supported. And that is something everyone needs. Dreams are powerful, but they are also delicate. A dream can grow when it is nurtured, but it can also fade when it is ignored. That is why support matters. When someone supports your dream, it does not mean they have to make it happen for you. It does not mean they have to solve all your problems. It simply means they believe in you. It means they remind you that your dreams matter. It means they stand by you when you doubt yourself. Support can come in many forms. Sometimes support is just listening, letting someone talk about their dreams without interruption, without judgment. Sometimes support is encouragement, reminding them that they are capable, that they have what it takes, even when they feel like giving up. Other times, support is action. It is helping in small ways, offering advice, sharing resources, or simply being present when things get tough. But support is not about control. It is not about pushing someone toward a dream they are not ready for. It is not about forcing them to do something they are afraid of. Support means walking beside them, not ahead of them. It means being patient, understanding that everyone moves at their own pace. It means trusting that they will take the steps when the time is right. Many people never follow their dreams because they feel alone. They feel like no one understands them, like no one believes in them. But when even one person stands by them, everything changes. One voice of encouragement can be enough to give someone the strength to keep going. One moment of support can be the difference between giving up and trying again. Imagine if everyone had the support they needed to follow their dreams. The world would be full of passion, full of creativity, full of people who feel alive instead of just existing. But that can only happen if people start asking the right questions, if they start caring about each other's dreams, if they stop seeing dreams as silly or unimportant and start recognizing them as the heart of what makes life meaningful. So, what do you dream of? If no one has asked you this before, take a moment to think about it. What is the thing that makes your heart race a little faster? What is the thing that fills you with excitement, even if you have never spoken about it? And if you already know your dream, ask yourself, what kind of support do I need and who can I turn to for that support? And if you love someone, ask them this question. Ask them what they dream of. Ask them how you can support them, not because you have to, but because you want to. Because supporting someone's dream is one of the most beautiful ways to love them. It shows that you care not just about who they are today, but about who they want to become. A life without dreams is like a sky without stars, empty, dull, without direction. But when dreams are supported, they shine. They light up not only the life of the person who carries them, but also the lives of everyone around them. That is why dreams matter. That is why support matters. And that is why asking this simple question can change everything. What do you dream of? And how can I support you? Am I allowing you to be yourself? This is a question that many people never ask in their relationships, yet it is one of the most important questions. In every relationship, whether it is between partners, friends, or family members, there should be space for each person to be who they truly are. But often, without realizing it, people place expectations and limitations on one another. They want the other person to act a certain way, to think a certain way, to behave in a way that makes them feel comfortable. This can happen in small ways: correcting someone's opinions, making them feel guilty for their choices, or expecting them to always agree. Over time, these small things build up, and a person may start to feel like they are losing themselves. Being yourself means feeling free. It means you can express your thoughts without fear. It means you do not have to hide your emotions. It means you do not have to pretend to be happy when you are not, or act differently just to please someone else. In a healthy relationship, both people should feel accepted for who they truly are. There should be no need to wear a mask or pretend to be someone they are not. But not everyone allows the people they love to be themselves. Sometimes it is because of control. A person might want their partner, their friend, or their family member to behave in a way that fits their own ideas of what is right. Other times, it is unintentional. They may think they are helping by giving advice, correcting, or guiding the other person, not realizing that they are making them feel trapped. If you love someone, the most important gift you can give them is the freedom to be themselves. This does not mean you always have to agree with them. It does not mean you have to like everything they do. It simply means accepting them as they are, without trying to change them into someone else. It means respecting their choices, their personality, and their way of thinking. Think about the people in your life. When they are with you, do they seem relaxed, or do they seem like they are holding something back? Do they speak freely, or do they carefully choose their words to avoid upsetting you? Do they laugh without hesitation, or do they seem cautious, as if they are unsure whether they can be fully themselves? The answers to these questions will tell you whether you are truly allowing them to be who they are. Many people do not realize how much they change themselves to fit into a relationship. It happens slowly. Maybe at first they express their true thoughts, but when they see that their words cause discomfort, they start holding back. Maybe they used to follow their passions, but when they notice that their interests are not appreciated, they push them aside. Maybe they used to feel confident in their choices, but after being questioned too many times, they start doubting themselves. This is how people lose themselves, not all at once, but little by little, until one day they look in the mirror and do not recognize who they have become. They realize they are no longer living for themselves. They are living to please someone else. And this is not what love is supposed to be. Love should not take away a person's identity. It should not make them feel smaller. It should not make them feel like they are walking on a narrow path where every step must be carefully measured. If you love someone, you should want them to shine. You should want them to feel safe enough to show you every part of who they are, their dreams, their fears, their thoughts, their emotions, without worrying about being judged or rejected. You should want them to feel comfortable enough to be their real self, not just a version of themselves that makes you happy. Allowing someone to be themselves also means giving them the space to grow. People change over time. Their interests change, their beliefs evolve, their dreams shift. A relationship should not be a place where someone feels stuck, unable to grow because they fear disappointing the other person. Instead, it should be a place where growth is encouraged, where change is welcomed, where each person is supported as they become the best version of themselves. Sometimes people do not allow their loved ones to be themselves because they are afraid. They fear that if they let them change, they will lose them. They fear that if they allow them too much freedom, they will grow apart. But true love is not about holding someone tightly so that they never leave. True love is about trusting that no matter how much a person grows, they will still choose to stay. It is about believing that their happiness and freedom will only make the relationship stronger, not weaker. If you are asking this question, am I allowing you to be yourself? Then you are already taking a step in the right direction. It means you care. It means you want the person you love to feel safe, to feel accepted, to feel free. The next step is to truly listen. Ask them and then let them answer honestly. Do not become defensive. Do not try to justify your actions. Just listen, understand. And if they tell you that they do not always feel free, then have the courage to change. Love is not about control. It is not about shaping someone into the version of them that you prefer. It is about accepting them as they are and loving them fully, without conditions, without expectations, without fear. When you truly love someone, you want them to be their happiest, most authentic self. You do not hold them back. You do not make them feel like they have to change to be loved. You simply let them be. So ask yourself again, am I allowing the people I love to be themselves? If the answer is yes, then you are giving them one of the greatest gifts a person can receive. But if the answer is no, then it is time to change. Not to control them less, but to love them more. Because love, at its deepest and most true form, is freedom. In the end, love is not about control, expectation, or shaping someone into who you think they should be. Love is about acceptance, freedom, and allowing each person to be their true self without fear of judgment. If someone has to change who they are to fit into a relationship, then that relationship is not built on real love. It is built on fear, insecurity, and control. To truly love someone is to give them the space to grow, the freedom to express themselves, and the security to be exactly who they are. It is to celebrate their individuality, to listen without judgment, and to stand by them as they evolve. If you ask, am I allowing you to be yourself? And you listen with an open heart, you have already taken the first step toward creating a deeper, more meaningful connection. True love does not hold someone back. It lifts them up. It does not demand change. It encourages growth. It does not trap. It sets free. And when both people in a relationship feel free to be their real selves, that is when love becomes its most beautiful and powerful form.